Hello everybody and welcome to Jane Catherine on Books. It's Catherine here and it's time for the Canadian ReadEHthon, and today is the 1st of July and so happy Canada Day. Got my mug here, you can see my gorgeous mug. I'll turn it all the way around so you can see the owl. So yeah, so I want to say happy Canada Day to all my lovely subscribers from Canada. A special thank you to my lovely friend Cheryl from CR Flames Fan for sending me this wonderful mug, and a special hello to Trish. Hi Trish, who won my last giveaway prize, and we always have some lovely chats do, Trish and I. So yeah, so happy Canada Day, and everybody else that's out there, let's just have a wonderful 1st of July. So I'm here with this readathon. It's been created by Kaylee from Books and Lala. Go and check out her channel if you don't already know about Kaylee. She has some really inspirational creative ideas, and she has some guest hosts that are helping her with this readathon. It takes place from today, the 1st of July, up until the 8th, and she is being helped with this by Ashley from Said the Story, Natasha from My Reading is Odd, Zoe from Yera Book Nerd Zoe, and Josie from Squibbles Reads. So I'll leave all the details of those lovely ladies down below, because they're going to be hosting Twitter sprints and all sorts of exciting things going on, vlogging over the next week. So that's really exciting. I've not taken part in this before, and I thought, yes, I will have a go, see what books I can find. They all need to be by Canadian authors, or all things set in Canada, and I'd actually got 3 on my shelves already, and I've bought 3 especially for this readathon. So yes, I'm out in the garden again. It's beautiful. I've got the great big parasol up today because it's very hot in the back garden, so just a nice little bit of shade. And without further ado, let's have a look at what books I've chosen for these challenges. So challenge number 1 is read a book with red on the title. So this is one that I especially liked the look of, and I've sent for this recently. They just arrived. I thought, goodness, they're not going to arrive in time, but they did. And this is Through Black Spruce by Joseph Boyden. Now, Joseph Boyden is quite a well-known Canadian author, written many works, and I mean, it's a lovely cover. As well as having the red, we've got flowers and all sorts. We've got some lovely pine. Well, there won't be pine, will there, because it's called Black Spruce, so there will be spruce trees. And it says, Suzanne and Annie may be sisters, but sometimes they feel worlds apart. Suzanne, beautiful and charismatic, longs to escape their decaying homestead and the feud that simmers between her boyfriend's family and her own. For Annie, the Canadian wilderness is all she needs. Yet when Suzanne vanishes, Annie feels their bond tugging at her irresistibly, calling her away from home. She sets out for Toronto to search for her sister, but Suzanne's disappearance is causing trouble much closer to home. An age-old rift has been torn open and is threatening to spin out of control. So yeah, it's quite chunky. Let's have a look. How many pages have we got here? 406 pages, so yeah, a bit of a chunky volume, but that's the first choice. Next challenge is read a book with E and H in the title, and because it's ReadEHthon, ReadEHthon, and I've got The Handmaid's Tale. So as you can see, I've got E at the end of the, and we've got H at the beginning of Handmaids, so I'm really chuffed with that. So I've had this on my shelves for quite some while. I managed to get it at one of the charity shops for £2.50. It's been on the television recently, and there's been a lot of hype around this book lately, but I've not read it, and obviously it's it's supposed to be really gripping story. It's dystopian. It's a world where really women are just used as breeding machines. So yeah, sure I'll have a lot to say about that. So yeah, book with EH on the cover, The Handmaid's Tale, Margret Attwood. Number 3, it says choose a book by a female Canadian author. So I've got a couple here, and although this isn't set in Canada, it's actually written by a Canadian author. So this is The Secret Daughter by Shilpi, Somaya, Gowda. And this looks an interesting, more of a family drama, I believe. So yes, takes place in India, but by a Canadian author. And also already on my shelves I'd got this, which I did haul quite recently, and I didn't realise that Frances Itani, or Itani, is Canadian author. And I know one of my subscribers had commented when she'd seen it that Frances Itani was one of her favourite Canadian authors. And then along came the ReadEHthon, the Canadian ReadEHthon, and I thought, great, I know, I've got something I can choose there. So again, this is called Deafening. It takes place, I don't know if it's between the wars. No, it's the First World War, and she's only been married for 2 weeks, and her husband is sent away to First World War to fight in the First World War, and she's deaf, and she has this really special way of communicating with the husband, and I think things are quite difficult while he's away. So that's a couple of choices for the Canadian female author. And then finally, number 4 is read a book by an Indigenous author. And read a book, number 5, is read a book in a province you've never been to. So I've amalgamated these two challenges, and I'm really excited to read this one, A Complicated Kindness, and this is by Miriam Toews. I hope that's the correct way of pronouncing it. Now, she is Indigenous, she's from an Indigenous family in Canada, and she was one of the Mennonites, families, and actually this story is a contemporary look, YA novel really, looking at 16-year-old Naomi, who actually is brought up in a I can't say it correctly, Mennonite way of life, Mennonite village. I believe it's a very similar faith to Amish, and they don't have a lot of electronic contraptions and how can we say, communication electronically with the outside world. And I think she's getting a bit fed up of that, because teenagers, we used to live in the middle of Sherwood Forest, and all the lads used to get fed up of being there. It's as if it was middle of nowhere. So I'm really looking forward to that, and that's a really nice cover as well. So that's for number 4 and 5 from an Indigenous author, and also it covers a province that I've never been to. I've never been to Canada. David's been, but I've never been. So anywhere in Canada would fulfill that for me. So there we go. They're the choices that I've made for this great ReadEHthon. Go and check the ladies out, see what their TBRs are like, and see what's coming up over the next week, and have fun. Bye for now.